Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of r/slash Tales from Tech Support. In today's episode, insert context here. Before we get started, make sure to subscribe so you will never miss a video. So let's get started. Insert context here. This tale takes place when I was working somewhere different from the two companies I've mentioned in my posts so far. The third place. For the purposes of Reddit, we'll call them XYZ Specialists, Hawaii, PLC. For those of you who are keeping score, this happened round about the middle historically, sometime between me finishing school and today. Anyway, at this point in my life I decided I wanted to seek alternative employment, and one of the things I found locally was an interesting looking vacancy at XYZ Specialists. I applied, had an exceptionally positive interview, got the job and duly started work there one Monday a bit later. Now, I happen to have a first name, and like many people, I've had the same one all my life. It's not a ridiculously common name, but there's a more common shorter variant, and couple of spelling choices, etc., etc. It was only after I started at XYZ Specialists that I found out that 3 of the other 7 technical/project managers at my level were also called Ojoy or variants thereof. Think Ojoy, oh and another Ojoy. We all worked, along with 50 to 100 other people, out the same huge open plan office. About a month later OJ*SUS was also hired to join the party, with a desk next to mine. After my original comment, I was asked about coping/recognition strategies. Actually in practice, it wasn't too bad day-to-day given that all but one of the long names were pronounced the same, and they also all had the same obvious contraction, which was the shorter name. Apart from looking different, sounding different, and having different family names, one of us was responsible for software, one for hardware, digital, one for hardware, analog, and they preferred the short form, VEET, hired and scheduled the agency temps. I do just want to make sure you've got everyone clearly distinguished in your mind's eye before we go on. But my point here is that it wasn't quite the chaos that might result from having some fast food franchise where all the cooks on shift are called Mick/Mike/Michael while a mob of Britneys runs the tills. We did have the same name, but we did different, albeit related, jobs, and the people who worked with or for us already knew who they were looking for. Context is everything. Customers did sometimes get confused initially, but the nature of the business meant that the folks at any given account were unlikely to regularly deal with more than 2 or 3 of us, which dropped the odds in their favor a bit. Most identity mistakes were easily spotted and whatever it was passed to the right person quickly enough, so activities at XYZ Specialists forged steadily uninterrupted by only the odd mild hilarity. Until we got the out-of-hours answering service, that is. Conceptually, XYZ Specialists were kind of a halfway house between the 2 other former employers I've mentioned so far. They did focus on supplying a certain kind of difficult kit to particular industries, the way XYZ Incorporated did, but they also did a huge amount of their own internal electronics design, manufacture and repair, like XYZ Limited, maybe more so. Our customers' problems typically fell into one of 3 categories. 1. We keep seeing this strange thing, but it's not critical, just suboptimum, so discussing it over the phone between 9 and 5 is a good start, and that can be followed if needed up by visits from techs and specialists if that proves necessary. 2. Functionality is impaired because product is U/S and requires immediate repair/replacement to restore said functionality. Swap in the ready-use spare product that sensible customers hold in stock for such occasions and then send back the original for inspection and refurbishment. If you don't by chance have a spare product on site, curse out your employer's idiotic penny-pinching bean counters and get on the phone to XYZ Specialists' local warehouse, where your usual contact will be happy to sell/rent/loan you what you need to get going again. 3. All H*LL has broken loose. This might or might not be the fault of product, but rather than investigating, the immediate first order of business is to get yourself over the nearest horizon and hide behind it. Once the situation locally is cool to the touch, and the wreckage has been damped down, a call to XYZ Specialists may safely be delayed until normal office hours. So where it was useful, customers had local 24-hour support anyway. Tech HQ didn't need to do anything and couldn't have done it any more effectively than the local stockists already did. If our employees were working/traveling outside hours and needed support, they could ring whoever they needed direct anyway. Enter a new CEO. Never ascribe to malice that which can be accounted for by ignorance and stupidity, they say. Fair enough. I don't think this particular CEO ever had a single F*king clue what the company they were in charge of actually did. I can only assume that someone, somewhere, really F*king hated us. As part of their victory lap on being installed, CEO went round handshaking at multiple large accounts and reminded them that the clever folks at XYZ Specialists Tech HQ were available 24/7, always keen to help out. Somewhere down the line, some senior employee at a handshook customer asked for more details, and it dawned on CEO that we didn't actually do this. CEO was then advised that Tech HQ's research and development activities have been found to work rather better when everyone was there at more or less the same time and could, say, talk to each other while looking at the thing in question. Tech HQ doesn't work nights. It doesn't work weekends. The building is shut down, lights off, there's nothing doing, so nobody's there. CEO insists. They have promised this to the customers as a key part of their new broom, clean sweep deal. They do not wish to actually look like the complete donkey they've just been. No one even bothers to ask the technical staff/management if they wish to start working shifts and become a 24-hour call center. Someone betwixt us and CEO has enough savvy to realize that's never going to be happening, and that it would be absolutely catastrophic for the business if it did. In view of the complete lack of funds allocated to this new service, however, a seriously cheap solution needs to be found, preferably without spending the whole of the board's light refreshment budget. And found yesterday. So one afternoon, oh joy, Ken, Katie, Bruce, new Bruce, and I are summoned into a meeting. We are advised that henceforth XYZ Specialists have engaged a specialist firm to answer the phones when the offices are closed. The lines will be switched over at closing time, this firm then intercepting any incoming calls to our normal numbers. They will take comprehensive notes and then relay that information to our receptionists at 10 o'clock next workday morning. Reception will distribute these incoming messages, and we are then to do our utmost to prioritize staff ringing back. Quite how this was better for customers than the existing practice of simply ringing the person you want to speak to at 9 a.m. on workday morning is not explained. For a long time, all is quiet. 99.9% of our customers can do this maths too. Then mid-morning one Monday, we get the first and only message ever received before the call forwarding company's contract is summarily cancelled, and CEO's brilliant idea quietly consigned to history. It's a doozy. Somebody rang for on Sunday. It's urgent, and they need a call back ASAP. If you've seen my writing style before, you probably think I've forgotten the square brackets, italics or asterisks in anonymizing somebody for Reddit purposes. No, barring substituting in the short form of my username, that's the exact original message in all of its 15-word glory. Context is everything.